doing an album review today. It is not the one that I thought I was going to be coming at you with today, to be honest. That is being shelved for a later date, because honestly, this matters more right now, because oh man, the news stung when I saw this morning that Tony Bennett passed. I was like, no, not Tony, no. He was like the last, in my opinion, of the great crooners that was still around from that era. I mean, yeah, we have people like Michael Bublé. That's not the same. He's like a neo-crooner, as far as I'm concerned. Like, yeah, he can do the style, but he's not one of the greats from way back when. Tony, I feel like, was the last of that era that we still had. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he was the last one. I've had to pretty much in my lifetime watch all the ones, like the Rat Pack just drop one by one by one by one. Just, oh, it has hurt watching them go. But at least I still had Tony, and I'm like, oh, this one hurts. And seeing it literally first thing in the morning hurt more. So it seemed like an appropriate day, because I never reviewed this back when it came out, even though I literally was on it the day it came out, and was all about it. It was basically all I listened to, like, for a solid year or so after it came out, was that first of the two albums Tony Bennett did with Lady Gaga, Cheek to Cheek. I was so freaking excited about this, because not only was it him, there's not that many modern pop stars that I like, but I do like Lady Gaga. I don't know, there was always something about her that just resonated, even before she did this. I don't know how I picked up on it, but the more I found out since then, like how, when she went to music school and everything, she wanted to be a jazz singer originally, but didn't think there was going to be any money in it, so she did pop instead. Now I'm like, I knew we were kindred spirits. Maybe it's the Italian thing, I don't know, but regardless. So the fact that it was not only her doing that style, which I was like, oh, be still my heart, but doing with Tony Bennett, I was like, oh my god, shut up and take my money right the frick now. So literally, the day it came out, I was here, living for it. Best era. Best era. Anyway, so, of Lady Gaga's albums, that's actually still my favorite one of all of them. Predictable, Jen is predictable. Anyway, so, we're gonna review it now, almost a full 10 years after it originally came out, because this came out in 2014, if I remember right. 2013, 2014, somewhere in there. God, how has it been that long already? Anyways, God, that seems impossible, but anywho, yes. So, I'm actually going to be reviewing the deluxe version that's got 3 extra tracks on it. I mean, yeah, I suppose I could do the regular one, but when I've got the one that has the bonus tracks, I'd rather review that one, because all of them are good. All of them are good. And if you've never heard the deluxe version and those bonus tracks, it's on Spotify. They're probably also on YouTube at this point, so you can totally find it easy. You don't even have to shell out any money. I mean, if you don't mind ads, you can listen on Spotify for free. That's why I mention it. But anyway, so I was just really excited to see that combination, because not only just for my own selfish purposes do I love both of these two people, it was a whole thing that would be bringing this genre to a younger generation that otherwise may not have been exposed to it at all and never would have been. Now they found out, hey, this stuff is actually cool. Like, this is actually quality, good stuff. I've known that my whole life. It didn't bring me to it. I've been listening to, like, big band and the crooner stuff since I was a freaking toddler. Being largely raised by your grandparents does that, okay? Okay, but anyway, I've always loved it. So this just, on concept, excited the hell out of me. But it excited me more knowing that there's going to be more people around who enjoy this now, therefore there may be more of it to go around in general. It's only going to be good things. So, anyway, it's why I was excited, but even though I don't consider Michael Bublé one of, like, the original crooners, obviously, because he wasn't around that back then, he's not that old, it excites me just that he exists, because it is another person who helps bring that genre to a younger generation. Harry Connick Jr. to a smaller degree, but I feel like he's kind of, like, in between, like, Bublé's generation. I feel like he's older than him, isn't he? But he's also way younger than the classics, so he's kind of in between. But, you know, I do like seeing it live on through modern people. So, anyway. First track on the album is Anything Goes, which I always loved that song anyway. Actually, pretty much everything on this album I already loved anyway. there was a few songs that were genuinely new to me, like Firefly. That was my first introduction to that song, was this album. But Anything Goes, like, immediately it throws you in at the deep end of seeing just Gaga's range, just both vocally, octave-wise, just all of it. Tony's just doing what Tony does best and always has. It is exactly what you would expect from him. But from Gaga, it's like, damn, alright, yes, I am here for this, I am loving this. That was one of the tracks that was pretty much everywhere when they were doing the PR for this album. I mean, there was a few that they used that way, but this one I feel like was one of the most frequently heard ones. But I also really liked that because it's so darn catchy, and it's so up-tempo and upbeat and just a happy song, you know? So I really, really like this one. So I'm going through the album track by track, re-listening to it so it's fresh in my head, and I can speak on all of them and also make sure I get the track order right, so I will be back with the next track in a moment. So the second track is the title track, Cheek to Cheek, which, I mean, pretty much everybody, even if you're not into this style of music, knows that song. But it's interesting because it starts out like a very slow, subdued version of it with Gaga's intro. But as soon as it gets to the second verse that Tony does, it immediately picks up pace. It's one of those songs that, like, you can't listen to without the wanting to snap along with it. And it's just like, it's so fun. And I see why they made it the title track and everything, but just, it's so well executed on all of the levels, and just, it fits the bill, it fits the genre, everything about it is so perfect, spot on, and it, again, really spotlights and showcases her versatility that I don't think a lot of people realized she had until this album. I mean, there was glimmers of it because she would maybe do, like, a one-off song here or there in shows, but had never done, like, a full-on album or a full-on tour of that. I still wish I had gotten to see one of the tours where she was doing this, but I didn't get to, but still, absolutely love this one, and absolutely agree with them making it the title track. So the third track, at least on the deluxe version, is Don't Wait Too Long, and that one is exclusive to this version. If you have the regular version of the album, this one's not on there, but this one is just Tony Bennett, and it's another old standard, but oh my god, it's such a sweet song, and just hearing it in his voice, even at the age he was when this was recorded, just so sentimental and sweet. It has, like, total vibes of, like, Paul McCartney's Kisses on the Bottom album, but I love it an awful lot. Just everything about it, the orchestration on it, his vocals, the lyrics, obviously, like, all of it. It just melds together so well and fits. It's just such a natural blend. I'm sure he's done the song before this album. I am positive of it. I would put money on it, but I don't know, even this version, it's just so good. It's so good. There's nothing like Tony, and oh man, it's like so hurting me today knowing that he's gone now. Like, it just breaks my heart. But yeah, listening to it with that scope of reference in mind now adds a whole other level to it too that it didn't even have before today. But I mean, even if I had done this before today, I already, like, adored this song. So the next track is I Can't Give You Anything But Love, which I always associate with Liza Minnelli more than anything because hers was the first version I knew of it. I believe Judy Garland did it too. A lot of people have done this song. It was neither of theirs originally, as far as I know. But Liza is the one that I always think of first and foremost, because it's the one that I'm the most familiar with. I've seen her do it so many times in concert as well. I think possibly every time I have ever seen her, she may have done it, actually. Pretty sure, actually, which is quite a few, over a dozen times, but anyway, but this song, again, just the balance of Gaga and Tony's voices on this. Like, Tony's got, like, the smooth jazz going on, but Gaga's, like, got the flair going on in her voice, she's got a little bit of heat going on in parts, but it's so good. It's so good, and it's a little bit of a more up-tempo version of the song, which I also prefer, too. Even more than Liza's now that, ever since this album came out, I prefer this one. Shh, don't tell anybody. But, like, but, oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. So the next track is Nature Boy, which, by title, when I first got the album anyway, I didn't think I knew that one until I heard it. That one, oh, it's that song. Okay, I definitely do know it. But oh my gosh, this one, between just hearing the range in Gaga's voice, plus the way everything melds with the way her voice versus his, and all the minor chords in it, just everything about this song, it's like such autumnal vibes, if that makes sense. I don't know how else to put it, but it's what I always get from it. But it just also, it's one of those songs that just goosebumps every time. Just, oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's like toe-curlingly good. So the next track is Goody Goody, which is another one of the deluxe edition exclusives, and I don't know why this one didn't make, like, the main album. It should have been just one of the main tracks that was just there. Just throwing it out there. But anyway, so this one, admittedly, when this album came out, was a new song to me. I did not know it before this. I knew most of the tracks on it, but that one was one of the exceptions that I learned a thing. I learned a thing from here. But it's so cute. So Tony sings the entirety of the song part, but it's like he's singing it to and about Gaga having like a love gone wrong, and he's just all too pleased about it, and she's responding to it like all sassy throughout the whole song. It's so cute the way that they interact, even if it's just like a playful banter thing that is completely for the song, but just, I don't know, I love this one. It's so damn cute and just so catchy, and another one of that kind of tempo. I don't know. It seems like most songs that have that particular pacing, I like. I don't know why. I do. But yeah, I really, really like this track. It's one of my favorites on the album. So the next track is another one of the exclusives for the deluxe edition, and this one is Every Time We Say Goodbye. And this song, admittedly, two things. I get why they put it on the deluxe version, because I could see where for some people they might be bored by this track or something. I like it, but I am biased because the whole reason I know this song is because Liza Minnelli often closes her shows out with it. Therefore, for me, I'm like, oh, hey, I see you. I see what you did there, especially because I know she is also a fan. But yes, so I'm biased on this, but I feel like for other people, I could see at least where maybe why they'd want to shuffle this one off as like a bonus track. But that said, in all of its simplistic beauty, it's just Gaga, a piano, and like a bit of strings and bass in the second half of it. And that's it. And that's all it needs. It's a very, very simple, beautiful tune. Again, I like it, even if I am biased, but it's a really nice showcasing of what she can do when she's singing softer all throughout, too. So the next track on the album is admittedly my personal favorite, and one that, when I got this album, was new to me. I had never heard it before, but oh my god, it quickly became my favorite one on there, and I am incapable of listening to it just once. I always have to listen to it like 20 damn times in a row because I love it that much. But it is the song Firefly, and oh my god, it's so catchy, and just the way that, like, the middle parts, the way that goes like between the music and the vocals, it almost gives the effect of the way a firefly would be moving. And just, it's so cool! It's so cool and so catchy, and oh my god, like, it's a lot of words they cram in real close together in those quick bits, but I love that kind of jazz. Like, that is my favorite to listen to. Can I sing along to it? Hell no, I can't make the words come that fast, but I very much envy and admire anyone who can do the thing. So for me, I love it. And I always listen to it a ton of times in a row. Every time I hit that song, it's just like, the rest of the album is cool, but I'm here for this one more than anything. So the next track on the album is I Won't Dance, which I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think they did like a slightly slowed down version of it. What's the original In a Fred and Ginger movie? I feel like that's where I originally know it from, and probably was the first instance of that song, if I am not mistaken, but anyway, so this song, it's very catchy, as pretty much everything on this album is, let's be real. Everything on it so far I've given top marks to. This may be the first album I've ever given like a proper 10 to, just saying. But anyway, so this one is cute, hearing the back and forth between them, even if it is inexplicably slowed down a teeny bit. I'm assuming for Tony's benefit, but I like it, and it works really well, and it's such a fun song to sing along to, especially when you're able to do the thing, like, pretty much spot on. Not to toot my own horn, but it does make me really like this one, too, because of that fact, but oh my god, this was another one of the ones that showed up in the promotional stuff for the album an awful lot, and I see why, because it's just so good. Just like the whole album, honestly. Why do people not talk about this album more? It deserves more attention even almost 10 years later. So the next track is They All Laughed, which I believe is the other bonus track for deluxe exclusive versus the regular album. If I'm not mistaken, because I believe the regular album had 11 tracks and this one has 15. So, could be wrong, I might need to double check against each other, but I want to say that's the other one that was exclusive to this. But anyway, so it's another really upbeat, fun, fast-paced song and everything, and admittedly this one I think was also new to me when I got this album too. I didn't know this song prior to this album, but it's a really fun one, and I feel like, again, more people should know it. Why this one didn't make the album, anybody's guess. I don't know, but I feel like it totally belonged on it. So this next track, see, if it were up to me, I think I would have flipped the last one and this one for which one went to the deluxe version of the album and which one was on the main. But that's just how I would do it. I am not the one in charge. It doesn't matter. But regardless, this one is just Gaga singing. And the song is Lush Life, which I think I knew originally from Frank Sinatra, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if it was originally his first, but it's where I knew it from. But anyway, it is another one that, like, shows off both her vocal range, both low to high, as well as showing what she can do when she sings softly, because we're so used to hearing her belt that it's almost refreshing to hear her sing in a more soft, like, crooner-type fashion. At least I think so. I mean, I love both, because I just love her, but it's a really nice track, but just, in my opinion, I feel like I would have let that be the hidden gem on the deluxe but that's just me. So the next track is Sophisticated Lady, and I feel bad that so far this is the only track that I would ding a little bit, like half of a point. But, this one is just Tony singing it. And I admit, this is, like, the one track where I really notice, like, there is some pitchiness in his voice. Granted, I'm sure a lot of that's from age. Like, God bless him for going as long as he did in his career. Like, there's not a whole lot of people you can say that about who keep going, who are just that beloved right till the end. Like, genuinely across the board. You don't find people who talk bad about Tony Bennett. It just doesn't happen. But, yeah, this one, it's a little more noticeable on. Others, it's more forgivable if there's, like, a moment. But this one, it's like, it happens in multiple spots, so it's like, I still like the song, it's still a very pretty song, but just looking at it from an objective angle here, that would be what would make it just a touch down, just a little bit, but for the most part, it's still really good. And I still like the track, like, don't get me wrong, I do still like it, but gotta be objective. So the next track is Let's Face the Music and Dance, which I most definitely know from a Fred and Ginger movie, first and foremost. But it's really fun seeing, like, new life injected into, like, such a classic track with just, like, the merging of old and new and the same thing, and yet it just somehow works. I feel like that's one of the things that I love best about the fact that Tony was willing to work with somebody like Gaga. He wasn't too big up in his own ego to feel like he was above working with somebody modern. No, he embraced it. He loved that somebody was keeping this stuff alive. Like, it made me love him that much more, honestly, than I already did to start with, and this track is, like, a perfect encapsulation of that, I feel like. So the second to last track on the album is But Beautiful, which is another slow ballad with both Tony and Gaga on it, and just has, like, a full, lush orchestration behind it and everything, where it's another one that, like, I noticed they have a tendency to, like, start out soft and almost like just like a vocal and a piano, and then it blossoms into the full orchestration. This is another one of those, and it's so pretty. I think this one was also new to me when I first got this album. I didn't know the song previously, but it sure is pretty. It's like one of those like uber romantic songs, just like, oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. And finally, the last track on the album is It Don't Mean a Thing If It Ain't Got That Swing, which I think pretty much everybody knows. So it ends on a nice high note, fast-paced, energetic, everything like that, as just a reminder of just what two powerhouse, absolute legends these two people are that created this together, and just, oh my god, I love it so much. Just like this whole album is virtually flawless. Doing the numbers on what I would rate it, I think it'd be like a 9.5 out of 10, just about freaking perfect on every last level. I can't say enough good things about it. If you've never heard it, I highly recommend it to you if you enjoy this genre, because I think you would be pleasantly surprised even if you don't think you like Lady Gaga. Just trust me on this one. This isn't like her pop stuff. It's nothing like that. So if you're not a fan of that, but you do like this genre, I think just get over your ego and try to give it a shot, because I think, again, you will be very, very surprised, because it's not like that at all. But anyway, I've loved it ever since it came out, and continue to. It's often in my rotation on Spotify, as well as just in general with the physical copy, but anyway. Those are my thoughts on it, and it seemed like a very appropriate day to finally get around to reviewing this, which I've put off for damn near 10 years. There's still the other album they did together too, that I've also not gotten around to reviewing yet. There's many things I need to review that I've not done yet, so anyway, you guys know what to do. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. If you're not already and you'd like to be, click subscribe, hit that notification bell icon so you never miss an upload, leave comments down below. Make sure you're following my social media accounts, my Facebook fan page, my Twitter, my Instagram, my eBay, my Reddits, everything and more. It's all down below, and if you like what I do here on this channel and you'd like to help support it, the donation link, as always, is down in the description. Anyway, guys, till next time, see ya.